It's time to celebrate, celebrate.
Take us to the beginning of your life and tell us, when did this passion for music start and how did you walk your way up to where you are? Like, give us the series of events, because I know me and you have shared some stories. You told me about Tommy Boy, you told me you traveling, walk us through Little Cap up to Big Cap.
Man,
lowercase.
I think music really chooses you. I don't know that most of the folks that I talk to in music, we all say pretty much the same thing. It just sort of chooses you, and you don't really know when it happens. But I remember starting out as a drummer at about 5 years old and playing drums in church, and then trying to mess around and play a little bass guitar, and then discovering that I wasn't as talented as I wish I had been. So I, found a way to sort of group myself with people that were a bit more talented, and started managing artists and working with various labels: Sony, Atlantic, Tommy Boy, Death Row. It's just been so many different things. But I think the key is that I'm always learning. You're forever evolving. So now I'm at a different place, but depending on where you sit in the room, it just changes your perspective. So I'm sitting in a different place in the room now.
Unbelievable. Listen, you said something that I think everybody wants to know, especially because not everybody wants to be an artist. There's some people out there that want to be music executives.
Sure.
And you started talking, you said, I went to Sony, I was with Tommy Boy, because there are people trying to figure out right now, how do I start getting with a major label? How did you do that? How did you get with a major label? And then we'll talk about management.
Well, initially I started doing independent promotions. So I basically had a friend, James Smith, who was in Richmond, Virginia. I was living in Hampton at the time, and I was managing artists, but I wasn't doing as well on the management side. And he says, well, man, I'm doing this independent promotions thing. Why don't you, submit a proposal to some labels and then see if you can get on that way? And so I sent out my proposal. One of the guys initially was at Ichiban Records, actually was based here in Atlanta at the time. And he said, well, I can't pay you, but I'll let you work for free. And if you sort of prove yourself that way, we'll work from there. And so
Wait.
Yeah.
Wait. We can't pay you.
Right.
Ah!
Yes.
We can't pay you, but you can work for free?
Yeah, absolutely.
Now,
and so what happened
Okay.
I took on that challenge. And as a result, I got a great reference. And so what happened was the first guy that I ever got a check from, David Lindsay from Atlantic Records. This was probably like 1993 or something.
93, come on, baby.
And but the reason why he gave me the job was because I had a reference from Ichiban Records that said this guy is who he says he is. And so as a result of working for free initially, I actually got the opportunity to work for Atlantic. And then, I started just sending out proposals to different labels, and one thing led to another, and I had, 20, 30 accounts at one point. So
oh my God.
I worked for Motown and Universal, Sony,
God.
Atlantic, Death Row, just a bunch of labels in the Virginia, D.C., Baltimore area.
So you call it Ichiban Records?
Records,
All right, hold on.
yeah.
Nobody's ever heard of that. First of all, now
The Ice Baby record.
The Ice Baby.
Actually. Yeah.
Listen, I gotta break. That's a principle right there, and I want you to talk about it because there's so many people in the music industry and just in the industry and just trying to be successful. Period. That say, wait, work for free.
Right.
I gotta pay these bills. Like, I got kids, I got this, you gonna pay me, and don't really have a track record, but are trying to get on, and they're trying to figure out what's the matter with me. But what you said, and I want you to talk about why you think that's important. Hey, there was an opportunity for me. I couldn't get paid, but I knew I wanted to do music. Ichiban, that nobody has really even heard of, is really the key that unlocked the door for you. But it unlocked it because it was free. Right. You said, I'm going to do it for free, and from the free seed.
Yes.
What? The
Yes.
free seed that you planted.
Yeah.
We talk a lot about apple trees. Within an apple is a whole lot. It's a whole forest in one apple,
Sure.
and from that one seed, it erupted, and it is where you are today. It has you where you are. Tell us the importance of doing stuff for free. Like, what is that?
Man, I think the real key is humility, and I talk about that a lot of times. You have to be consistent, number one, and then humble. And unfortunately, a lot of people just aren't humble or consistent, or they don't possess those attributes. And so I think that's really the key. And then from there, you just have to really believe and just know. You have to walk in it. It's already done. If you're faith-based and you're spiritual, you hear people talk about seeds, and they talk about a mustard seed. I don't know if you've ever seen a mustard seed, but that thing is real small.
Yeah.
But then I read recently for myself, and it says the grain of a mustard seed. So it's not even saying that you have to have a full seed. So I'm like, all right, God, if you just saying I gotta have a little piece of it, like a grain,
A grain?
I'm good on. I'll take that deal. That's a pretty good deal, I think. God said you only need a grain. All right, well, I could take that challenge. You know, I don't even need a full seed.
Dang.
And that's small, but a grain, like, all right, we can do that. So I think that's really what it is, man. It's just, you know, just knowing what a lot of people go through life and they don't really know what their calling is, and they don't know what they're here to do. But when you discover that, it's a great place to be, and you just flow and walk in a whole different, mindset.
Jesus, a mustard seed. You ever seen a mustard seed fly?
I done held the mustard seed and almost like got lost in my hand. It's
The
so
mustard
little.
seed almost get lost in your hand.
It's so little. You can barely see it.
Dang, and with just all you gotta do is have faith of a mustard seed.
Right.
That's small.
Grain. That's not even the whole seed.
Yeah.
Losing, it's time to congratulate. We're gonna tell our story.